problem is, this pressure is like an industrial strength hydraulic press, and our minds are a soup can. If you're susceptible to this sort of thing...
I thought my chef and that belly of yours looks like a nice place to bury it.
Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. It is diffuse light outside, but before long, it will burn off, I'm quite sure, and become a sunny day. That's what it's been doing this entire past week. Starts off gray, and then the sun burns off the clouds, and then it becomes a nice day. It hasn't been too hot so far. It has been hot. I keep the lights off in here when I'm not recording. I have my fan on in the hall, so I keep the door open at least a little bit at the very least, and the window on and the fan on in the window, just to try and keep it cool. Ugh, second floor of old houses, heat accumulating upwards. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, front-loading of videos, hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that'd be very, very cool. And I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people are, in fact, literally beautiful and literally awesome. Without these people, I and my pets would be hosed like Christmas monkeys. And of all the monkeys that can get hosed, Christmas monkeys get it the worst. So thank you, each and every one of these people. I appreciate your help to no end. If you would like to help me out and keep me alive, there are links to the PayPal, to the Patreon in the video description. There's a PayPal down below. And if you'd like to help me out as well without sending money, there's an Amazon wish list link with stuff like cat food on it. So thumbs up like that. Thumbs up for that. So front loading a video over. Yay! So yeah, it's been a day. I didn't have too much falling asleep yesterday, just a tiny bit, and that's good, because I don't like falling asleep in my chair here without my sleep apnea mask on, since I stop breathing periodically, especially when I'm asleep. So joy. And the weird thing is, it's not even just when I'm asleep. I usually don't stop breathing for long when I'm sleeping, but there will be periods where I'll notice that I just stop breathing even when I'm awake, and I have to consciously breathe for a time until that picks back up. So I just have apnea, not even sleep apnea. Yay for your brain forgetting to tell your lungs to breathe. But life is life. Past that, I mean, I played video games, I tried to be creative, I tried to eat proper food, failed miserably in some cases, but did my best otherwise. Went on walkies, thought about creative stuff, but it's still a weekend, so I'm not really too altogether concerned about trying to do world-shaking things to my life. I'll wait for business days for that to happen. Most of the world is shut down, because it's a weekend and everybody's just relaxing. So, hey, I'm going to do my best too. Oh, itchy upper lip. Or my mustache goes and tickles my nose as it grows out. Yay, as I talk. Thumbs up for that. Past that, not a whole lot has happened. My kitty cat is surviving and being happy. My little hamster ghost is surviving and being happy. This morning he was up and running around, so I picked him up and let him run around in my lap and stuff. And I cannot feel his spine or his hips underneath the meat of his body, so he's still middle-aged. He hasn't gotten old enough yet. Amelia, on the other hand, has all sorts of spots along her spine where you can really feel the vertebrae. So yeah, I mean, she's about 20 years old, so older kitty. And of course, older person here. I'm getting older. I can't wait till I start to waste like that, because you do get those things happening as you get older. On the one hand, as you get older, your waist does get bigger. You do get thicker. I mean, look at people like Michael Myers. If you can take a look at him now, find pictures of him currently, he's thicker, a lot thicker. And all of these people that used to be, kind of thin and svelte when they were younger, they're not svelte when they get older anymore. That happens, you get thicker. But then also, as you get older, your cells stop dividing and your skin gets thin and your muscles waste away. Your mileage may vary though, so thumbs up for that. I mean, everything's a probability curve. You're going to have the people that are harshly affected, those that are barely affected, and then in the middle, most of everyone else. That's the way it happens. Past that, been trying to be as creative as possible. While I was out doing walkies last night, I was thinking creative stuff about my various settings. So yes, I'm going to spend pretty much the rest of this time just talking about mostly creative stuff and my one setting. So hopefully that's not going to make you click off if you haven't already. So here's hoping that you're entertained. That would be a thumbs up for that. But with the whole, there's the inside, the outside, the razor's edge. Where the inside and the outside, we're on the outside, there's another universe that's the inside. The whole idea behind that is in multiverses, you can have universes that come out as like conjoined twins, where this universe would have failed, but it got linked up to the other universe, and it's using some of its energies to stay alive. It's not really a functional universe. There's only like one or two ways in. It's stunted and things aren't good. The one I write about was the one where a lot of extra universal energy was funneled into it during its configuration, which altered the configuration, which altered the energy, which altered the configuration, back and forth, until we have the universe we have now, where the inside is that conjoined universe, which is actually, because of the energies, just an amazing and wonderful, beautiful place. Entirely just accidental and an astonishing thing. I'm having trouble speaking English, and Ghost is awake. He's up and drinking, so yay. Because he's just drinking, I was squeezing his water bottles to help him drink. Because he's just drinking, I'm not going to bother him and pick him up, so just beware, he's up and drinking though. But within this universe, of course, that's the inside, where there is all this energy, there are people that live there, and then of course the energies from the infinite ocean of possibility and potential flows upward the island of the inside, in through the doorway at the top, through the razor's edge, and out the other door, out into our universe. The razor's edge, of course, just being one of those places where the two universes rubbing together, it pierces a little hole, causes a doorway between the two, and then the razor's edge is just a transition point between them. But people being people, we go and colonize places like that. The razor's edge is, like I've mentioned, it's like a beach, in that there is no real such thing as a beach. There's land, there's water. Water flows and ebbs. There is no real beach. That's just the transition point between water and land. And so it moves as the water moves on the land. That's what the transition point of the razor's edge is. It's just a place where, as the energy that flows up and in from the infinite ocean is flowing toward the doorway, it's condensing outward and down converting. And passing through the razor's edge is a major part of its continued down conversion into energy that our universe can use. Because there's a flow of energy between the two universes to keep the, I forget the word, but it's the density, such that it's all in equilibrium. There we go. Now, because they're separate universes, our two universes don't really click and work with each other. There's like a handshake protocol. Our universe uses the handshake protocol of like the smell of lavender. Inside, from the inside, they use the handshake protocol of like the color yellow. They don't match. You're expecting a color, you're expecting a smell. There's no handshake protocol. Neither universe really understands each other. Of course, if you're from the inside, you also do have that other receptor. If you have the site where all of this energy is coming down and condensing, it activates people's extra universal chromosomes and genes. If you have the site, then you can access and see this stuff that normal other people can't. So you can pass through the razor's edge onto the inside, or the things from the inside can interact with things on the outside, as long as that handshake protocol is there. And if you have the site, you have the handshake protocol. That's just a rough, quick thing about why normal people can't just interact with this other universe. You can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't interact with it in any way at all unless you have the sight. So if you don't have the sight, it's just stories. No one's ever going to be able to show you anything to prove that this place exists in the slightest. Even though, of course, if you're one of these people that has the sight, well, you can be using your mobile phone from the Crimson Kingdom on the inside when they're having their quantum booster repeaters that are working to go all the way through the razor's edge and stabilize that area, and they're providing mobile service for people out here. So it's pretty wild. Everybody sees them as just phones. You can show them that it's a phone. If there's no handshake protocol, they'll go, oh, it's a phone. And their brains see it as a phone. But if you press them for details, they'll say, oh, it's a phone. And to them, they gave you full details. But they just said, it's a phone. You push it and say, explain it. Show it to me. Describe this to me. They'll get angry because they can't and they don't understand why. So it doesn't really work. So the inside and the outside are separate, but they're also not, because they're just people on the inside. They're just people. And of course, there's cryptid energy. This cryptid energy pours into this world, and people's cryptid genes and chromosomes activate. Now, somebody asked, I wish I could remember how to pronounce your name, and I am very, very sorry. Is that Kryptonite asked, Crypto World makes me think of folklore fairies where you say you have to apply a certain ointment to see leprechauns and goblins, always made to think of things that are adjacent in the fourth dimension that could be observing us in a way that we cannot observe back. Does Cryptid World have special cryptid glasses or cryptid drugs? In the cryptid world, there are people that can focus energy, and when they create objects, they can put that focus into the object. It's not magic. This is all science. It's just energies and sciences that we as normal people cannot access, but these people with the sight or cryptid sight can. When they're making focuses and putting it into something, it is just managing to twist these energies in a way that it's doing something that normally we could not, but it's still just using science. But they sure act like magic, because you can make all kinds of artifacts. Cryptid World is filled with artifacts from people that know how to do this, and some of them are nice and friendly, like people who make like a hat, that if you wear it, yeah, you've got a strong cryptid sense. You can see glasses that, oh, you're seeing the cryptid stuff through the glasses. Whatever they can do that makes sense within this energy, that focus will do it. You also have people that, like this one man, I haven't even given him a name because his name isn't important, but he loses a family member in a very violent, horrific, and gruesome fashion to a werewolf type cryptid. This breaks this person. With a lot of people, when they break and go into places where our mind shouldn't, you can bring them back out. This person, when they sank, they went diving deep and they never came back up for air. Every artifact they created afterward was dedicated to the concept of hunting down and killing werewolves. Everything. And it all culminated after all the time working on it, creating the best thing that this person had ever created, a sword, Spellsinger. Spellsinger is a terrifying artifact, not only for werewolf type cryptids, but for us too, because of this creator's single-minded obsession and just honing their craft. Spellsinger is dedicated constantly to the idea of hunting down and killing werewolf type cryptids. It has no mind. It is a machine. But if there are no werewolves around where it is, it extends its perception outward until it finds one. If it can extend its extension out to a certain point and it does not find a cryptid werewolf, it needs to go moving to find them. So it sends out signals that hammer people with weaker minds. Now, with a weaker mind, there's no way to tell as a human being. You can have very strong-willed people that will just collapse underneath this psychic attack from the sword instantly. There's no way to tell. It is not a value judgment. But they get hit with this signal that says, come to me, and with my power I will make you a god. And it pushes on human psyches, and whichever one gives the most, it puts the most pressure on. Problem is, this pressure is like an industrial strength hydraulic press, and our minds are a soup can. If you're susceptible to this sort of thing, you are crushed. A lot of the most susceptible, the weakest of the weak minds, people just die. A lot of people are hospitalized. Those that can stand it go looking for the sword. And if they get hold of the sword, by the time they get there, they're just a husk of a human being. Most of their personality has been burned out, and when they grab the sword, there is nothing left, because Spellsinger just goes, okay, I've got a body now. But you know what's inconvenient? The person running it. We'll just do this, and then bam, you're gone. You're just a shell. But Spellsinger's got a body, and it goes instantly looking for those werewolves. And there are lots of other people with broken minds left behind after somebody's got this sword. But they go instantly walking towards where the closest werewolf is. Spellsinger doesn't care about the body. Occasionally it will remember to eat and drink. Rarely it will remember to sleep. But it just goes single-mindedly towards the closest werewolf to attack. If we see Spellsinger and it's close to a werewolf, it's glowing and it's humming. And when it's right next to it, it's like humming loudly and glowing brightly. To our sight, to a werewolf cryptid or someone with a very strong cryptid sense, this is like a lighthouse tower light blaring right into their eyes. And that hum is a scream of utter inhuman hatred, rage, and hunger. And Spellsinger doesn't have to really hurt you to kill you. If you're a cryptid, it just has to, a cryptid werewolf, it just has to slice your skin enough that it can draw one drop of blood at a bare minimum. If it can draw that one drop of blood, there are enough exposed nerve cells in your body that the energy of the sword arcs into your nervous system. And, well, it takes about 2.2 milliamps or, 1 watt or 5 millivolts to burn out a human fuse. Within us, it's strong. Outside of us, it's not. And this is the power output of an entire fleet of nuclear power plants discharging their full yearly thing in one instant into your nervous system. The flash of light that burns out your nervous system is bright enough to go through your skin and cast shadows in the room, while the sword screams, "Mine!" as you die. Everyone believes Spellsinger eats your soul if you are a werewolf-type cryptid, because it sure seems like it. Everything that was bit of neural tissue in your body is gone. You are dead instantly. At which point the sword, satiated, goes into a week-long hibernation. Body doesn't usually last. It doesn't care about the body. Sword's in hibernation. It just lets the body go. It usually dies within a day or so, and then just the sword leaves it there to rot. And then it starts again after that week, wherever it happens to fall, starts looking for werewolves. And if it can't find them, it wants to go looking. Thing is, though, even if it does find one, it does the same thing. Come to me, and with my power, I will make you a god. And as soon as you grab that sword, your pitiful husk of a body, it is off to kill that werewolf. Spellsinger is one of the most terrifying artifacts in the cryptid world. There are stronger ones, there are more insidious ones, but this one is so single-minded, and it does not care who it kills. as long as it gets to kill werewolves. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab, so I can thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count American Sign Language, well, you know how my brain works. I talked for a lot longer than I kind of meant to. We have Jesse Koskinen. Always good to see you in the comments, my friend. Thumbs up and thank you. Hanger 1800, and thank you very much for the tip. I'll give that a shot. We have Matt 1992, thumbs up. We have Stephen Blanchard, greatly appreciated. Oh my God, I hate most. Flies are awful. Real Chirno, Cirno. I wish I could play Asu. I wish I could. I haven't for a long time. Sufficiently switched, greatly appreciated. Loco5, I am so sorry about what happened with your family and everybody and you and Ben B. Yeah, stay away from alcohol. Psycho Jazz, definitely a good thing. And Tommy Copeland, oh my gosh, I am so sorry, especially with what happened. Oy vey, alcohol hurts so many people. It is terrible. We have Hindka, thumbs up and thank you. And that is it, except I'm going to thank Sebastian Ferris as well. So we'll make that 12 people that left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thumbs up and thank you. Get me out of my head and into the world and dealing with real people, and that is appreciated. I am super hot. There is stagnant air because the window's open but no fan, the door is shut, the lights are on, I'm waving my arms around and I give off 100 degrees of heat. The door is shut again, and I've got electronic equipment going. I overheat so quickly. But just be smart with the Covfefe bug still out there in the region. Wear appropriate precautions. Do what you have to not get sick and throw your body onto the end-of-life corpse pile. You take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and quite frankly, I do think that is a very good idea.